second for you. Getting closer.
So I'm walking in victory. Though I might cry sometimes, you promised me you'd never leave. So I'm walking in victory. Sometimes I forget you have the win over the enemy. I'm walking. You saved me. I'm walking in victory. You picked me up, turned me around.
Hey friends, welcome to Getting Close Up, a show centered on independent artists and creatives. I'm your host, Danielle Cox, and the video you just saw was of the newest release for the guest that I have with me today. It's called In My Victory. They are an innovative gospel collective pushing the boundaries of message and expression within the gospel genre. Today, we are getting close up with theSanctuary. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hello.
Look at all these people I got in here today.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good,
Y'all are looking good and coordinated.
You know how that is.
Yeah, you've been in a group so long, it just fall together, don't it?
Automatically.
That's awesome. Well, let me go ahead and get some introductions in. You last. Start with you,
My name is Frank Moore.
Frank.
I'm Wanda Hooks. My son's Candy.
Candy. Can I call you Candy?
Yes.
All right. And you.
And T.
All right. Now, for the people watching at home may not know, T is also our executive producer, director, editor, and designated popcorn popper for Getting Close Up and GCU Reviews. And I'm going to officially nominate him to sit down somewhere here real soon. No rest for the wicked, apparently. So I have a lot of questions for you guys. I'm excited for you to be here, and let's get into it. So you described theSanctuary as a collective. What does that mean for how you guys do music?
theSanctuary Entertainment is my production company, and so it's kind of like a house group under that, where there's several different artists that participate within theSanctuary. And so when one of us writes something, if it's something that another person wants to participate on, we just send out a blast email saying, hey, here's my song. You want to sing on the track? And if so, then we do it.
Right. So it's really an opportunity for whoever is feeling a connection to that song or to whatever piece is written to participate.
Correct. You know, the one thing that I've always said is that I don't ever want anybody to sing a song that can't feel the song. So if you can feel it, if it feels good to you, it's something you want to be a part of, then yeah, let's make it happen.
And what new opportunities is that presented for you guys? As far as working with other people?
I mean, I think it's opened the door for us to work with just some of the other people that are on our roster here at theSanctuary, as well as some other people that we know that are around town that would like to sing. This particular song started out with our old group, so it's members of our old group that Metro Praise that are singing on the song. But as we decided to move forward, we chose to go with theSanctuary to release it.
Okay. And so you are a singer and a songwriter in the group, and you're actually leading the song,
Correct.
In My Victory. So you saying, have you written songs for the...
I've written one that I've never done anything with several years ago, and I was like, I don't like it. Then it's like, I'm gonna do it, then it's like, so it's kind of back and forth type thing, but I would really love to get into writing, because I feel that there are some things that I can put into, some songs, and I just need to get that to be like,
Right.
Go ahead and do it. So
work in progress.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And have you written any songs for the group, or you? I know you've led some songs and
Yes.
you're a vocalist as well.
Yes. And I co-wrote a song with T. It and I mean, it was a song that was heartfelt, but I don't think we just didn't get into it as much. We didn't get into teaching it to the group.
We
as
taught
much.
it to the group.
We did teach it to the group, but
And it's an amazing song, but we kept changing the lyrics in the verse because I lost them.
oh,
And hence,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Is he admitting a mistake? Did that just happen?
He does that.
Did
quite
that
a
just
lot.
happen?
don't know what happened to, and so we never finished it because we never got back together to finish the lyrics.
right.
Yeah, so this could be like an opportunity to have new inspiration to revive old projects and work on some new things. I think that's awesome.
Actually, that's one of my favorite songs that we've done. It's a very hard song, but it's one of my favorite songs that we've done.
So we could maybe look forward to it being released under the Sanctuary at some point in time, maybe.
I think so.
Oh, that'll
All
be
the backgrounds are
interesting.
done.
Okay,
Oh boy.
okay. Might be a bit of an exclusive information here. So you mentioned the group you had before, Metro Praise. So how did all of this start?
So probably 22, 23 years ago, we were all sitting around the piano at Metropolitan, and
That's the church that you originally...
Metropolitan, and we were just practicing old songs, just throwing songs out there, and it was like, because I think all of us was together then, and there was very few moments where all of us were together. So we just all just started singing songs, and then it was said, hey, why don't you guys, put together a group, and start singing. And so we put together something for one. It's supposed to be one engagement, and then God worked, and then we had another one and another one, and then we just. Metro Praise came together, and as a ministry, and that's kind of how we got formed.
Yeah, and so by saying that, you've been with the group since the beginning.
Since the very beginning.
And have you as well?
No, I wasn't with the group in the beginning. When I saw the group, it was during a revival, and you're doing the music at the revival. So I was like, wow. And I was just, being amazed sitting in the audience, and I was just like, I think I was sitting next to your sister, and I was like, oh, I would love to be in that group. So an opportunity came, and they were like, would you like to be a part? And I was like, yes. So that's how I became a member of the group.
So it's a combination of really your talents and then a purpose.
Right.
So ministry being the purpose, and you said you have the
Right.
prison outreach, and then you've done fundraisers.
Right.
You've done different things for the community.
Right, because
And-
we didn't want to be a group that
Yeah.
just went out and did engagements. Our focus was more on the ministry side of it. Who can we help? People that are less fortunate, where, harvesters, we wanted to get involved with the community, the schools, the program, the fundraiser that, we did for the school district to help those kids, homeless kids and stuff. That was what it was more about for us, outside of trying to go to church, just to say, you know what I'm saying, to sing.
Right. That's amazing. It's always best, like when you have a purpose, it
Right.
really helps drive the mission overall and keep the people that want to stay where they are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Keep you together. I use the word innovative at the top of the show to describe you. What's one word you would use to describe your music, each of you?
Oh, wow. I think blessing, because, he's written several songs for us, and his songs are not easy. They're just not, musically wise, in the studio, because they have all these different chords, and it's like, I can't do that, so, but I like to say different, because we don't want to be like everybody else per se. We wanted our ministry to be unique in itself, in its own way. And then you put all of our different personalities together, and then that just kind of made it challenging sometimes. But, all groups and stuff have challenges like that. But
course.
it's great to see how the Lord just pulls it all together.
That's a good answer. You? Whichever. Y'all can fight to the death for it. Whichever one to go first.
I was gonna say inspirational, and a lot of times we were the only like example of teaching, like message, teaching God's word that some of our some of these people saw, some of the community saw.
I say eclectic. I love all different genres of music, except for jazz.
We're not gonna get into that. It's been a battle.
And everybody sings lead, and so it affords you the ability to experiment, to just be free,
A lot of flexibility.
and whatever comes out comes out. And so it's like all over the spectrum. I have more of a I would say not a gospel voice, but a more Christian contemporary voice, where he can sing more gospel or contemporary gospel. We call him Frank Hammond because he sings a lot of Fred Hammond songs.
Watch out, Fred.
My favorite artist. And Candy is very eclectic as far as her vocal abilities. She can do just a wide range of different styles. So it affords me the ability to be able to just be free and let God give me what I'm gonna get and go with it.
And just go with it. So you mentioned Fred Hammond already. That's one down. So what are some of your other main influences that you draw from when you are leading or when you're thinking about what song you want to do? What are some of your other influences?
Well, for me, I love Daryl Coley. I'm a Daryl Coley person. And worship. I love worship music.
What are some big influences for you?
One of my biggest influences is Tamala Mann.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
Tamala Mann. I like Mary, but then I like some of the old school too, Tremaine Hawkins.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
all the older.
well, those artists got us through. So yeah, absolutely.
So,
And I tell you, it was nothing like being a kid growing up in the 90s and you'd be dead asleep. And then you wake up in the middle of the night to one of those commercials for me, Tremaine Hawkins, going, and you like, oh, it's like in the middle of the night.
Right,
It's like actually
exactly.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So, and for a lot of us, that was like some of our only exposure, like, who didn't
Right.
grow up as church kids, or some of your only exposure to
Right.
the music.
Exactly.
But everybody knows that name and everybody knows
Right.
what that
Right.
means and what that
Exactly.
music
Exactly.
is. So
Exactly.
that's a great answer.
My biggest influence, and sorry, it's not a gospel influence, it's Prince, which probably adds to me being able to explore different genres of music. From a gospel perspective, like I said before, Fred Hammond. When I was younger, I used to pray that God would give me what he gave Fred Hammond. I coveted his gift because it's the way that he could turn scripture into song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just into a song, but into a relatable
Right.
song.
Right.
Something that I'm going through
Right.
today,
Right.
and turning to that. And that was amazing to
Right.
me.
No, that's great. And like all the people that you guys have mentioned, and especially like how you mentioned Prince, it doesn't necessarily have to be a gospel influence to, for where you are in music now, because music is really at its heart
Right.
music, and it's something that goes to the soul. Now, what you put into that is a whole other topic.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's very important to know what your message is and to understand your vehicle. And I feel like you guys understand that very well.
Absolutely.
Now, go ahead.
And can I make a point to that? So, like you said, music for me, is something that's given. I don't only write gospel music. I don't only sing gospel music. Because it's whatever God is giving me. And I'm crazy enough to believe that if there's a message in the song, God can do and use anything he wants to. I remember there's a song that I wrote called We Should Be Making Love. And it was because a friend of mine and his wife they hadn't been married. I think they've been married maybe 2 years, and they had started having all kind of issues and everything, and they were heading for divorce. And so I wrote the song as a message to them that you're still in your honeymoon phase. This is the time you should be making love. This isn't the time that you should be, it should be tit for tat, you know, well, you did this or that, yeah. And he actually listened to it, and he wanted to work on his marriage. And that meant a lot to me. So I just, whatever God gives me, I can't write a song unless it's given to me. I have to hear it, so it's already there.
That was beautiful. That was a great answer, and I'm glad you thought of that, because that for me, that's what music is, regardless of what particular genre. And gospel is an ever-changing genre. You mentioned Kirk Franklin and Mary. They all presented their own way of putting gospel music out, and sometimes they got a lot of pushback.
Right, absolutely.
Have you guys experienced anything like that where, you know, they didn't particularly, somebody may not have been as receptive to the style that you were using to present the music?
Yeah.
My biggest pushback was actually from the group.
Rock roll.
And it was the song that Candy actually leads, by Faith.
Oh my God.
Oh, here we go.
When I wrote this, the song's a throwback. It's the throwback to the 50s, 60s. And it's very animated. It's very, you know, and when I first sent it to them and we started practicing it, everybody was
remember
like,
now.
"What is this?" But I've been blessed that regardless if they get it, they'll still allow God to do what he's gonna do. And they finally got it when we actually sang it live.
Yeah.
And the whole church was on their feet. It was like, everybody was like, and it was like, then everybody was like, "Oh, I like this song. I like this song." But it took that experience to actually, for them to get it, you know, for us to do it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because, like, it's really watching the process go through.
Right.
And for some people, like you were saying, I can see why some people may not have gotten it until they saw how it reached others.
Absolutely.
Because if that's where your connection is, it may not hit you until that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's not even something that seems like a problem in the group, or may seem like pushback or an issue, is actually really just part of the process.
Right.
And so what I want to ask to that effect is, how do you deal with all these personalities and, you know, strong personalities, strong drives? Everyone's got their own way, their things that they like, their own musical taste. How do you deal with that in order to stay together?
Well, I'll let T.
Because he's over here smiling like the Cheshire Cat. Like,
I don't deal very well.
oh, okay. Let's talk about it.
I am very passionate. I am very serious. I would say I'm a perfectionist. So I have a tendency to push, just for lack of a better word.
You hold something in, my brother. I feel it.
And I've always been like that. Even when I was younger, I've always been the producer. And to wear the producer hat is to make the final outcome the best it can be. And so that's always how I approach music. So I haven't had any problems with just a flat out, no, we're not gonna do it. We may not get it, but we're not gonna do it. But getting there sometimes is very hard.
Oh, why is Kenny being singled out? Why you think you being singled out, girl?
Well, I don't know why he singled me out.
Did you just say
Oh no.
You really, I mean, I was in the group. We all know that in order to make it work, we have to be open-minded. We have to be accepting of things that we may not understand initially. And that's part of God's work too. But why he singled me out? Let's see. No, I in the group, I'm the most difficult to learn the notes. Sometimes I don't know what it is, that I just can't hear it. But
Candy will
we work
know
it out.
everybody else's lead but her lead. You give her a song to lead, it will take forever for her to learn her lead, but she will know my lead, she will know his lead, everybody else's. She'll be sitting there singing their leads while they rehearse it.
Right.
But when it comes to her, she's like deer in headlights.
That's true, because when I need my note, I just listen to Candy. Candy singing my part.
You know what? I'm gonna change the subject. I'm gonna help you out, girl. I'm gonna change the subject. I got you. So let's talk about this new single, "In My Victory." What was the inspiration behind that?
Really, my pastor, we all go to different churches now. We all grew up at the same church, but we all go to different churches now. And I go to Sheffield, where the pastor's Pastor George Westlake III.
You know, you got when you say your church name, you gotta say the pastor.
Right.
That's how I go.
At beginning of the year, after I first started going, and the theme was "Walk in Your Victory." And that was the theme for the year. And so for the first half of the year, it's like all the sermons were around that, and it just really was speaking to me. And it just really made me start thinking, you know, we have the victory, we just got to live in it. You know, instead of we let everything get us down, we let obstacles come our way, and that's human nature. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna get down, depressed, upset, you know, but it's the recovery
Right.
to remember that
Right.
God has dominion over everything. So,
Yes.
and he sent his son here to die for us. So we already have the victory. Maybe not down here, but if you choose to believe, then your victory is in heaven. And that's what we all should be living for and striving for.
Yeah. And what does the song mean to you? You're leading it, and for me, like, you're giving a very powerful lead in this. So I feel like there's something behind that.
Yeah, and you know, if I can remember right, he first sent this song to me right in the middle of COVID, I think.
Yes.
When COVID was pretty much started, and so I was like, yes, you know, and when we first started recording the song, I could not, it was not working. It wasn't. I mean, I came to record several times and it just wasn't happening. So I'm like, so I just started praying. I was like, God, you know, what is it me? What am I doing? And then T had said something to me. He said, you know, you have to make this your own testimony. And once I started making it my own testimony, you know, thinking about what was happening in my life, what I've been through, you know, then it just automatically started clicking. In My Victory should be everybody's testimony, because you can have the victory, you have to accept it, you know. And we sometimes have a predetermined way of how we think it's supposed to come out, but
Right.
you know, his ways is not our ways, and his thoughts is not our thoughts. So the way that we may be looking for that victory to come may not be how it's going to come. So, and like Kenny said, we have to be open-minded to accept what God has for us in that victory and how it's going to come.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's a very inspirational song. And it's easy to say that because it's, you know, gospel or
Right.
whatever, but not everything is very super, you know, inspirational,
Right.
or a reminder
Absolutely.
that you can overcome and
Right.
that you can get
Right.
through,
Absolutely.
and that it's a process.
Right.
And there's several things while talking to you all that I've seen that it really feels like the main message is follow the process.
Yeah.
Because things start a certain way and you may not be able to see the end. You know what you expect, but you don't know how it's going to get there.
Right.
But if you follow
Absolutely.
that process,
Right.
you'll make it.
Absolutely.
You know, my favorite verse in the song is the second verse, because so we're coming out of the chorus where I'm talking, I'm walking in my victory, I'm walking in my victory, I'm walking in my victory, and then it goes, oh wow, now I've been knocked down again.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And my favorite lyric is in that second verse when it says that I choose
Yeah.
to dwell in my sorrow or in my victimness,
Yeah.
you know. And I think a lot of times we don't think of it like that we make that choice to stay there,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
instead of choosing to be absolved from it and move forward.
So what is it like when you all are in the studio together trying to record? Like what is...
Actually, when I record, I mean we get along pretty good. You know, my thing that I like to do is always start out with the prayer, and then you know, a few minutes of listening to the track. You know, and then you know, because, and I told him, and he knows, I'm like, look, if I don't have it today, just say that. You know, I'd rather, you know, let's just not waste time. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Rut roll.
my request starts with me trying to listen, trying to get the feel for it, and then and it's just, you know, sometimes it comes out and I get it like boom, 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 and then sometimes it's like T's like candy. And so I'd be like, I know, okay. So, but I think overall it's been a good experience.
And you have an interesting perspective on producing and what your goal is and the end goal is. Talk a little bit about that.
It's a lot of pressure for me. I will say it's a lot of pressure because I feel like it's all up to me to make it what it's supposed to, and everybody's depending on me. I have to take that extra time to take off my hat as the writer. It's really putting on that different hat to understand what you need to take it to that next level. And then you gotta put on your mixing hat to get it to sound like it's supposed to sound, and before you send it off to be mastered. And so it's a very intense, the mixing I hate. It's a very, you can feel like after you can finish mixing, you feel like you got ran over by a truck. You know, it's just that intense.
So who would you like to bring in for a song? Just think, I don't care if it's somebody that you know, is local, whatever. Who would you like to bring in to do a song?
Like anybody?
Yeah.
If I could work with Fred.
Fred.
If I could work with
Yeah,
Fred, that would just
He's the
hands
man.
down, hands down. Just that's my dude.
Well, from y'all's mic to his ears, hopefully.
Right.
Who would you like to work with?
Me? I think I like to work with Tamala Man.
And she can sing a Tamala Man song.
Right. Yes, he can.
She can sing a Tamala Man song.
Right, girl.
Yeah, she can.
All right.
So I think it's a little vibe there. I don't know.
No, she's amazing. I think that would be an awesome opportunity.
Right.
And I love seeing what you guys are doing, and I can't wait to see more. What is next for you?
You know, I'm a director myself, and so I worked with artists and stuff. But I love music. I love recording. I love, that's what I do. And eventually that's my ultimate goal, is to just be able to do just that, just music. Music and production is what I really love, so.
And what about you, Candy Girl? I know some other things are changing in your personal life too.
Yes. Singing makes me happy. If I'm singing, I'm happy. So I would love to just sing full time. And yes, there's some other life-changing things.
These lights is blinding me.
Like what?
I've lost the use of my right eye, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna allow it.
I will be getting married in August.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank
Yay!
you.
See, what's next on the docket?
Well, getting this show off the ground and getting it uploaded. The next single from the Sanctuary will be By Faith.
Okay.
So we will start working on that again this year. We'll re-record some parts and add some additional vocalists on the song that are part of the Sanctuary.
Well, it was great having you guys. I've enjoyed the conversation. You all are awesome, and I can't wait. I keep saying it, but I absolutely mean it. I cannot wait to see what's next.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up this episode. I'd like to thank the Sanctuary for joining me today. Had a great time with them. The links that they gave will be in the description box below. And if you had as much fun as we did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so we can keep bringing it to you. New episodes of Getting Close Up air bi-weekly on Fridays. If you had as much fun as we did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so we can keep bringing it to you. New episodes of Getting Close Up air bi-weekly on Fridays. But make sure to tune in next week to GCU Review, where we give you the tea on what's hot and what's not. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for watching, friends, and I'll see you again soon for another Close Up. I'll be checking for you.